The defamation trial against Donald Trump from E Jean Carroll took off this week, and oh my God, is Alina Habba doing horribly. For some reason, Alina Habba is, of course, representing Donald Trump in this E Jean Carroll defamation trial, which, for the record, the judge already issued a summary judgment and said Trump is liable for the defamation. So this trial is only about the final amount that Donald Trump is going to have to pay to E Jean Carroll after, of course, last year he was hit with a $5 million verdict, but he continued to defame her, so we've got a new lawsuit. By the way, he continued to defame her even while in court on Tuesday, so maybe there's another lawsuit in the future, but until we get to that point, we have to deal with Alina Habba being so horrible in court that many legal experts were shocked, not just by her horrible legal arguments, but by her behavior in general. Here's what happened. Before the trial started, the judge overseeing the case, Judge Lewis Kaplan, came out and he gave a list of guidelines for the entire trial. He told them that they're not allowed to say certain things. They're prohibited from making comments about Carroll's past romantic relationships, sexual disposition, and prior sexual experiences. And they cannot argue that Trump did not sexually abuse or rape Carroll or act with actual malice when making his comments about her, because the court last year had already determined he's liable for it because he did it, you know. So you can't argue any of those things. So Alina Habba gets up there to make her opening statement, and she starts off by saying, President Trump defended himself when publicly accused, and that's as far as she got. Because at that point, Judge Kaplan had to jump in and say, quote, don't go much further because you're already treading on thin ice. At another point, when Habba once again went off the rails, Kaplan had to stop her mid-sentence and tell her to sit down because she was overstepping her authority there. And then the actual legal arguments came, right? So she already pissed off the judge to start. She didn't even get a sentence in before the judge was pissed. And then she did the most disgusting thing of all. She suggested that E Jean Carroll is somehow loving all of this newfound fame that she has garnered. She said, quote, the evidence I will show you will show that Miss Carroll's conduct has caused this media frenzy. We will ask Miss Carroll to confirm that she felt she was in a cocoon of love after publication of these allegations. She also said that Carroll was fully enjoying the attention. Yeah, because that's what sexual assault survivors want, is they want attention. They want everybody to love them. They want fame. This is a disgusting argument. Not only, by the way, is it not a legal argument that clearly holds no water, even in this case. It's not a valid legal argument, but it's also a horribly disgusting thing to even say. It's a disgusting thing to even think. And here is Alina Habba, the woman who performed so horribly during Trump's fraud trial in New York that for some reason he put her on this case, and she's out there making an ass of herself as soon as the trial begins. At some point, Donald Trump is going to have to wake up to the fact that she is not good at this, that she is costing him so much money, because he's going to have to pay in the New York fraud trial where Habba represented him. He already lost it. He has to pay. Same thing with this case. Liability has already been determined. All that's left to determine is how much he's going to pay her. So she's going to lose this one too by default. She already lost and got sanctioned for the lawsuit she brought against Hillary Clinton and the DNC. Alina Habba has not won any cases for Donald Trump. None. And yet he keeps putting her on his team, and she keeps doing the dumbest things imaginable. I don't know how much it's going to cost him before he wakes up and realizes, hey, yeah, I like looking at her, but she's also a really bad lawyer. I don't think there is an amount of money. I think Donald Trump thinks that she is gorgeous. That's why he parades her around Mar-a-Lago. That's why he paraded her around that UFC fight he attended, sparking speculation that she may be the fourth Mrs. Trump in the future. That's why he's got her, because he finds her attractive. Alina Habba has, almost basically admitted that. But that's what it is. She's going to cost him everything. She's a horrible lawyer. And that's not just coming from me. That's coming from the legal experts. But he's going to keep her around because I guess he likes looking at her. Ring of Fire is just a few subscribers short of hitting that 1 million subscriber milestone. So if you're not already subscribed, please go ahead and do so and stay up to date with all of the latest from Ring of Fire.